Hey, digital warrior. Before the world wakes up, before your phone lights up, before the pressure hits, I want you to listen to this. You woke up. That means you've been given one more day, one more shot at doing it right, one more chance to become who you were meant to be. Most people open their eyes and instantly lose control. They reach for the phone. They react to the world. They forget that the first thoughts of the day shape the rest of it, but not you, not today. You are here to build something deeper, a stronger mind, a grounded heart, a life that stands firm, no matter what. Comes the ancient Stoics, didn't chase comfort. They trained for life. They expected difficulty, and they practiced peace in the middle of the chaos. That is what we're doing here. This isn't motivation. This is mental armor. You're about to hear 10 Stoic reminders to repeat every morning. Each one is a seed. You plant it, you water it, and it will grow into strength. This is your mental reset, your morning code, your reminder of who you are and what you stand for. Listen closely, feel the truth in every word, and say it out loud if you need to. Let's begin. Reminder number 1. I control my mind. I do not give it away lightly. This is where it all begins. Your thoughts, your reactions, your emotional state. They are not accidents. They are not out of your hands. They are not dictated by the news, your past, or the chaos of your current life. They are shaped moment by your choices, by your awareness. This is why the Stoics placed so much power in the mind, not because it makes you invincible, but because it makes you responsible. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Your mind is the one space that belongs fully to you, but most people never claim it. They wake up and hand it over to their phone, to emails, to news, to expectations, to worry. They let the world pour into their brain before they have decided what they believe. The mind becomes a battlefield, a distraction magnet, a chaotic mess of thoughts that do not belong there. So this reminder, I control my mind, I do not give it away lightly, is not just motivational. It is a vow. It is your daily oath to yourself. Let us talk practically. How do you take back control of your mind? In the first 10 minutes of the day, first, silence. That means you do not touch your phone right away. You do not open the floodgates. You give your mind space to center. Second, ask yourself, what is already good in my life? This single question shifts your state from reactivity to gratitude. Third, speak this reminder aloud. I control my mind. I do not give it away lightly. When you say it out loud, it is different. It becomes a command. It sets the tone. Now build on it. When your mind is under attack from stress, anger, fear, doubt, you already have a defense. The reminder becomes a shield. Let us be honest. The world will test you. You will have a frustrating client. You will get an unexpected bill. Someone will say something that gets under your skin. That is why this is not just a quote. It is a tool. You pause. You breathe. You say it again. You choose not to react. You observe your thoughts instead of being ruled by them. And in doing so, you prove something powerful. That you are not a slave to external conditions. That you are not programmable. That you are not available for emotional manipulation. That is Stoic strength. Now zoom out. What happens when you do this every day? For a week, for a month? You begin to rewire your mind. You feel calmer, clearer, stronger. You stop spiraling over nonsense. You become less distracted. You recover faster from setbacks. Your focus sharpens. Your reactions slow. Your energy stabilizes. People around you will notice. They may not know what changed, but you will, because every time you say that line, "I control my mind," I do not give it away lightly. You are reinforcing the truth that your mind is your most powerful possession. You are the gatekeeper, the architect, the warrior within. So tomorrow morning, speak the line. Midday, when stress hits, repeat the line. At night, when you are tempted to worry, return to the line. Build mental ownership like a muscle. And one day, when everything around you is in chaos, you will be able to stand calm in the storm, because you trained for this. And it started with one reminder. You are the guardian of your thoughts, the protector of your peace. Say it again, not as a phrase, but as a truth you choose to live. Your mind is yours, and no one gets to control it. But you make this your daily armor, the sentence that filters your decisions, the voice that challenges your fears. And when the noise gets loud, when anxiety rises, when self-doubt tries to crawl back in, you answer with the one line that reclaims your power. I control my mind. I do not give it away lightly. Write it, speak it, believe it, then act like it is true, because it is. And when your actions reflect that truth, your life will follow. You will become someone the world cannot shake. Someone who lives above the noise. Someone who rises not through luck, but through mental discipline, through clarity, through intention. This is your beginning, and it starts with a decision to take back what was always yours, your mind. Say the words again, live them for real, then watch how much changes in the space between your ears. It is not about being perfect. It is about being present. It is about being powerful in how you think. Because once you master that, you are unstoppable. Reminder number 2. Today is not a rehearsal. I will live it fully. Most people treat today like it is disposable, like they will get another version of it tomorrow, like this moment is practice. But it is not. It is the real thing. This is not a warm-up. This is not a test run. This is not something you get to rewind. Today is the show, the performance, the moment that counts, right now. And if you miss it, it is gone. Seneca warned us. While we wait for life, life passes. That is what happens when we delay, when we say someday, when we wait for clarity, or courage, or the perfect conditions. The truth is, life is happening right now. It is not waiting for you to be ready. It is not slowing down until you feel motivated. It is moving. And the Stoic approach, move with it. When you open your eyes in the morning, you have a choice: to drift or to direct, to react or to create, to repeat or to rise. Most people hit snooze, not just on their alarm clock, on their potential, on their purpose, on their ability to engage with this day fully, intentionally, powerfully. They say, I'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow is not real. It does not exist yet. All you ever have is today. That is why this reminder matters so much. Today is not a rehearsal. I will live it fully. It pulls you into your presence. It snaps you out of autopilot. It calls you back to the one moment where your power actually lives. Now, let us break it down. Not a rehearsal. That means you do not get to come back and do it again with more energy, with more clarity, with more love, with more focus. You either bring that now, or you miss the moment. And when you miss too many moments, you look back and realize you missed a life. You missed the chance to say the thing that mattered, to try the thing you feared, to be the person you were becoming. So you live it fully. That means you show up for the hard conversations. You give your full attention to the people who matter. You create instead of just consume. You listen instead of just react. You breathe deeply instead of rushing blindly. You stop putting off your peace for some future day when everything is figured out. Living fully does not mean everything goes right. It means you are fully present with whatever happens. The failure, the success, the confusion, the clarity, all of it. It means you feel life. You don't numb it. It means you take risks, not reckless ones, but courageous ones. It means you leave nothing unsaid that your soul knows needs to be spoken. And when you do that, when you live like today is the only one you get, you stop worrying so much about how long you live, and you start focusing on how deeply you live. That is where fulfillment comes from. Not from stacking years, but from squeezing the life out of every single one. The Stoics practiced a powerful mindset called memento mori. Remember death, not as a fear, but as fuel. When you remember that life is short, you waste less time, you forgive faster, you love louder, you stop hiding, you stop waiting for permission, you stop letting fear win. So tomorrow morning, say the line out loud. Today is not a rehearsal. I will live it fully and mean it. Then choose one thing, one action that honors that decision. Send the message you have been sitting on. Speak the truth you have been afraid to say. Start the habit you keep pushing off. Say no to something that drains you. Say yes to something that moves you. Breathe deeply. Walk slower. Look someone in the eye. Do not rush through the day like it is a checklist. Do not miss the beauty in the ordinary. Do not forget that this might be the most important day of your life, not because something massive happens, but because you actually live it. This is the power of this reminder. It brings your soul to attention. It reminds you that you are not guaranteed another sunrise, that every morning is a miracle, that every breath is a blessing. So treat it like one. Do not just survive today. Do not just get through it. Do not sleepwalk through another 24 hours. Engage. Be awake. Feel it all. Because one day you will look back and realize that the most powerful moments were the simple ones you chose to live fully. Say the line again. Today is not a rehearsal. I will live it fully. Let that be your compass. Let that be your anchor. Let that be the fire that lights your action. And if you forget, if you get pulled into distraction, into worry, into fear, come back to your breath, come back to your body, come back to this moment, because this is your life, and it only happens once. Reminder number 3, I let go of what I cannot control. Most of what stresses you out is not yours to carry, but you carry it anyway. You try to fix other people. You try to predict the future. You try to rewrite the past, and it never works, because the truth is simple. There are only 2 categories of things in life: the things you can control and the things you cannot, Epictetus said. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. That is it. That is the split. And most of your peace comes from knowing the difference. Let us be honest. Most of us waste our energy on the second category. We worry about what people think. We overanalyze conversations. We replay mistakes. We obsess over outcomes. And in the process, we neglect the first category. Our thoughts, our words, our actions, our habits, our attitude. That is where your power lives. And that is why this reminder is so important. I let go of what I cannot control. It is not giving up. It is choosing what is actually yours. Let us break it down. You cannot control what someone else thinks of you, but you can control how you treat them, how you show up, how you speak, how you listen, You cannot control whether the world is fair, but you can control whether you act with integrity. You cannot control the weather, or the market, or politics, or the past, but you can control what kind of human you are in the middle of it all. And that shift, from outer control to inner focus, that is where power begins. Think about it. Every time you focus on what you cannot control, you shrink. You feel smaller, weaker, more anxious, more exhausted. But when you focus on what is yours, your thoughts, your habits, your decisions, your energy expands. You go from victim to leader, from reaction to creation, from helpless to grounded. This is not just philosophy, it is biology. When you stop fighting reality, your nervous system calms down, your body relaxes, your mind clears, you think better, you choose better. So the Stoics practiced this daily. They would literally list out what was in their control and what was not, and they would surrender the second category completely. Try it. Write down what is bothering you right now. Then ask, is this mine to carry? Can I control this? If yes, take action. If no, let go. Letting go is not a weakness. It is wisdom. It is energy conservation. It is emotional strength. It is not pretending you do not care. It is choosing what you care about. You are not responsible for everything. You are responsible for your part. That is it. And that clarity gives you energy, focus, freedom. Now let us make it real tomorrow morning. When you feel that weight creeping in, that anxious thought, that urge to micromanage, that mental spiral, stop, breathe, say the reminder, I let go of what I cannot control. Say it again. Say it until your body believes you. Then return to what you can control. Your breath, your presence, your next decision. This is how you take your power back, not by controlling more, but by controlling better. And people will notice, your energy will change. You will stop overreacting. You will stop carrying other people's chaos. You will become calm in the room, the one who chooses peace over panic, discipline over drama, because you trained for it. You trained to focus on what is yours, and you trained to release what is not. Every day is going to throw distractions at you. What someone said, what might happen, what you should have done, but none of that is in your hands. You know what it is, how you speak to yourself, how you move through the day, how you treat the people around you, how you treat yourself, how quickly you recover when something does not go your way, how intentionally you respond when emotions rise. That is the domain of the Stoic. Let us go deeper. Think about the most peaceful people you know. They are not the ones with perfect lives. They are the ones who know what to hold and what to release, who does not let every external storm become an internal storm, who does not let every inconvenience steal their joy. That is not luck. That is skill. That is philosophy in action. That is daily practice, and it starts with this reminder. I let go of what I cannot control. Now take a moment. Breathe deeply. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel the tension leave your chest. Repeat the line. Say it again. This is your medicine. Every time you feel overwhelmed, every time you feel out of control, every time you feel heavy with pressure, say it. I let go of what I cannot control. And then watch your world change. Not because it got easier, but because you got stronger. You became the one who knows what is theirs, and you let the rest go. That is peace. That is power. That is Stoic. Reminder number 4. I do not rise to the level of my feelings. I rise to the level of my choices. You are not what you feel. You are what you choose. And the difference between those two ideas could change the entire course of your life. Your emotions are real. They matter, but they are not your master. They are messengers, not dictators. This is what the Stoics understood better than anyone. That feeling angry does not mean you must act on anger. That feeling afraid does not mean you must run. That feeling sad does not mean you are broken. Epictetus said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Feelings are information, but they are not always true. They are shaped by your past, your habits, your sleep, your story. And just because you feel something strongly does not mean it should control your day." So the Stoics trained for this. They trained to observe without obeying, to feel deeply, and still act wisely. This reminder, I do not rise to the level of my feelings. I rise to the level of my choices. It is not a denial of emotion. It is a declaration of leadership. Let us go deeper. Imagine waking up in a bad mood. Maybe you slept poorly. Maybe your mind is racing. Maybe nothing is wrong, but nothing feels right. You have two options. Let the mood set the tone for your day, or choose your tone, despite the mood. Option 1 is passive. It says, I feel low, so I will act low. Option 2 is powerful. It says, I feel low, but I can still speak kindly. Move forward, show up, decide clearly. That is the Stoic path. You do not need to feel confident to act with courage. You do not need to feel happy to choose gratitude. You do not need to feel inspired to be disciplined. You just need to choose, over and over again. And the more you do, the more your feelings begin to follow your actions. The more your mood becomes a reflection of your choices, not the other way around. Let us talk practically. What does this look like in your day? It means when irritation hits, you do not snap, you breathe. When fear shows up, you do not hide, you lean in. When apathy creeps in, you do not delay, you start anyway. You say, I am the one who chooses. This is power, because most people let their feelings lead, and their lives become emotional roller coasters. High 1 minute, low the next, productive on good days, passive on hard ones. That is not stability. That is slavery to emotion. The Stoics knew better. They knew your choices create your character, not your moods. So they practiced detachment, not from people, but from emotional impulses. And this is not cold, it is compassionate. Because when you are not ruled by your feelings, you become more present for others. You listen better. You respond instead of react. You become a safe place, a steady force, a grounded presence. Now let us take it further. Every day, you will feel things you did not choose. Doubt, annoyance, fatigue, impatience, comparison. That is okay. You are not responsible for what appears, but you are responsible for what you do with it. You can acknowledge the feeling without acting from it. You can say, I see you, but you are not in charge. This is mental maturity. It means when you are overwhelmed, you do not give up. You ask, what is the next right step? It means when you are triggered, you do not lash out. You ask, what is the most grounded response? It means when you are anxious, you do not spiral, you anchor. This takes practice, but it pays dividends, because the more you practice rising above feeling, the more powerful your presence becomes. You become someone people trust, someone people depend on, someone who can lead not just when things are easy, but when they are hard, because you are not led by the storm. You are the one holding the wheel. You rise to the level of your choices, Now repeat the reminder. I do not rise to the level of my feelings. I rise to the level of my choices. Make that your mantra. In the morning, before a difficult call, in the middle of an emotional wave, say it again. Feel it, and then choose. Choose action over avoidance. Choose grace over grudge. Choose focus over frenzy. Choose peace over panic. That is the daily practice. You do not have to feel amazing to live intentionally. You do not have to be perfectly calm to speak wisely. You do not have to wait for motivation to begin. You just have to choose, and then keep choosing. That is what builds the life you want. Not perfect feelings, but consistent decisions. Let that be your legacy. Not how often you felt good, but how often you did good, even when you did not feel like it. Say it one more time. I rise to the level of my choices, and let every day reflect that truth. Reminder number 5, adversity is my training. I grow through the challenge. Hard days are not the enemy. They are the arena, the forge, the classroom, and you are not here to avoid the fire. You are here to be refined by it. This is the way of the Stoic. They did not wish for ease. They prepared for resistance. They expected it. They welcomed it, because they knew the truth, that who you become is shaped more by struggle than by success. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." That is why this reminder is so powerful. Adversity is my training. I grow through the challenge. You are not being punished by hard things. You are being prepared, strengthened, sharpened, hardened where you need endurance, softened where you need compassion. Everything you are going through right now is a kind of training ground for your next level, for your next challenge, for your next season. Let us take this deeper. When life gets difficult, most people try to escape, to distract, to numb, to complain. They ask, why is this happening to me? The Stoic flips the question, what is this trying to teach me? That one shift changes everything. It turns pain into power, pressure into purpose, chaos into clarity. When you stop seeing adversity as an interruption and start seeing it as instruction, everything starts to grow on you. Think about your body. You do not build muscle without resistance. You do not build stamina without strain. The same is true for your character, your patience, your wisdom, your peace. They are forged, not found, built, not given. And the building happens through adversity. Every obstacle in your life is offering you something: strength, awareness, clarity, humility, depth. But you must be willing to accept the gift, even when it is wrapped in discomfort. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The thing you think is in your way, that is the way. The delay, the rejection, the hardship, the confusion. It is not here to stop you. It is here to prepare you. But only if you choose to grow through it. You can resist the pain, or you can recruit it. Let me be clear. This does not mean you have to enjoy the pain. It means you do not waste it. You do not let it pass through you without doing its work. The struggle is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of stretching, of expanding, of leveling up. Look at any person you admire. They did not get there by avoiding difficulty. They got there by facing it, learning from it, moving through it. And so will you. Repeat the reminder. Adversity is my training. I grow through the challenge. Say it in the middle of a tough meeting. Say it when plans fall apart. Say it when anxiety hits. Say it when the road feels too long. Because each time you do, you train your nervous system to stay steady. You train your brain to look for meaning. You train your heart to stay open. This is what emotional fitness looks like. Not the absence of hard emotions, but the presence of resilience in the middle of them. You learn to be still in the storm. You learn to listen in the chaos. You learn to grow in the pressure. And with time, something incredible happens. You stop fearing adversity. You stop resenting the challenge. You start welcoming it. Not because it is easy, but because you know who you become through it. You become stronger, clearer, calmer, wiser. And that version of you, the one who has been through the fire, that is the one who can lead, serve, build, and love with strength. Do not wish for an easier path. Wish for the strength to walk the one you are on, and then build that strength. Day by day, choice by choice. Say the line again. Adversity is my training. I grow through the challenge. And let that become your mindset, your anchor, your identity. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a student of life. And every difficult moment is a lesson, a weight, a repetition that makes you stronger. This is your practice. This is your path. This is your power. Use it well. Reminder number 6, peace is a decision, not a destination. Most people chase peace like it is a finish line, like one day everything will be perfect and quiet and calm. But the Stoics knew better. They knew peace is not out there somewhere. It is right here, right now, and it begins with a choice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That is the core of this reminder. Peace is a decision, not a destination. It does not come from things going your way. It comes from how you decide to meet life. Whether it is calm or chaotic, bright or bleak, easy or hard. You do not wait for peace, you create it. Let us unpack that. You can have a peaceful morning even if your inbox is full. You can have a peaceful heart even if someone disrespects you. You can have a peaceful mind even when you are surrounded by noise, because peace is not found. It is built. It is built through choices, micro decisions, moment by moment. Let me show you. You wake up. Your thoughts start racing about work, about people, about what might go wrong. But then you remember the reminder. Peace is a decision. You pause, you breathe, you anchor, you choose not to rush, not to scroll, not to panic, and suddenly, peace starts to grow. Not because the day changed, but because you did. That is the practice. Every time you choose to respond instead of react, you are choosing peace. Every time you let go of control and focus on presence, you are choosing peace. Every time you move slower when your heart wants to speed up, you are choosing peace. This is what the Stoics called equanimity, a kind of inner steadiness that does not depend on outer circumstances. They trained for this because they lived in unstable times, wars, betrayals, sickness, death, but still, they built peace within. And so can you. Think about what usually steals your peace. A rude comment, a missed opportunity, a traffic jam, a delay. These are not the problem. The problem is the meaning you attach, the spiral you enter, the story you tell. But what if, instead, you told a different story? This is inconvenient, but it is not my responsibility. This is difficult, but it cannot take my calm unless I give it permission. This is uncertain, but I can still be grounded. That is the shift, and it makes you powerful, because now your peace is not fragile. It does not depend on other people behaving, or plans going perfectly, or every emotion feeling easy. It depends on you, and that means it is under your control. This is not just theory, it is a daily practice. It means you take 5 seconds before you respond. It means you lower your shoulders when tension rises. It means you speak slowly when your heart races. It means you unplug to reconnect. And each time you do, you are building something. You are building a soul that is not easily shaken. You are building a presence that calms rooms. You are building a mind that does not spiral at every trigger. Now let us make it even more real. Try this today. When something disrupts your plans, say this out loud. Peace is a decision, not a destination. Use it as a reset, then choose again. Choose how you will think. Choose how you will breathe. Choose how you will carry yourself. This is not a weakness. This is warrior training. You are not choosing to be passive. You are choosing to be powerful in a world full of noise. You are saying, I get to decide how I feel. I get to decide how I respond. I get to decide what energy I bring. That is the deepest kind of strength. You are not fragile. You are not reactive. You are not waiting for peace. You are it. Repeat the line again. Peace is a decision, not a destination. Say it in the morning. Say it in traffic. Say it before bed. Let it become your compass. Let it become your baseline. Let it become your way. Because the world will always give you reasons to be chaotic. Your job is to give it reasons to be calm. You are not your anxiety. You are not your triggers. You are not on your schedule. You are your choices. And peace is one of them. Choose it. Every single day. Reminder number 7. I carry my own weather. My attitude is my atmosphere. The world is unpredictable. People will frustrate you. Plans will break. Days will derail. But your mindset, your internal climate, is yours alone. And it travels with you everywhere. This is what the Stoics understood deeply. You cannot always choose the conditions, but you can always choose the condition of your spirit, Epictetus said. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it matters. Your mood is not a reflection of your circumstances. It is a reflection of your ownership, your discipline, your preparation. This is your reminder. I carry my own weather. My attitude is my atmosphere. Think about that. Wherever you go, your energy goes with you. You do not wait for the sun to shine. You become the sun. This is not positive thinking. It is disciplined thinking. It is emotional maturity. It is the ability to show up consistently, whether things go right or wrong. Let's take this into your day. You wake up. It is raining, cold. Your plans are off. You are tempted to match the weather. Be moody, be short, be reactive. But then you remember, I carry my own weather. You straighten your spine. Take a breath and choose a different response. You show up with warmth. You choose patience over pressure. You set your emotional temperature instead of letting the day do it for you. That is strength. You become someone people feel better around, not because life is easy, but because you bring calm, you bring focus, you bring clarity. And here is the truth. Most people are emotional chameleons. They take on the mood of their environment. But the Stoic becomes the thermostat. They set the tone, and you can too. You walk into a meeting. Everyone is anxious, negative, doubtful. You breathe. You center. You speak with calm. That is carrying your own weather. Or you face a setback, a delay, a difficult conversation. You do not collapse. You hold your energy. You stay grounded. because your inner climate is not up for negotiation. It is your decision. Let us go deeper. This practice changes your identity. You stop being at the mercy of moods. You stop blaming other people for your energy. You stop outsourcing your emotional state. You become someone who leads themselves, and that kind of person becomes a leader of others. Because here is the truth. Your attitude is contagious. Your mindset spreads. Every room you enter, you are either absorbing energy or generating it. So what kind of weather do you want to bring? Storms, fog, a cold front, or steady skies? Warmth, focus, calm. You decide. This does not mean you fake it. It means you take responsibility. It means even when you are tired, you show up with intention. Even when you are disappointed, you stay gracious. Even when you are unsure, you stay grounded. And every time you do, you build emotional momentum. You teach your nervous system that it does not need perfect conditions to stay regulated. You teach your mind that it does not need praise to stay focused. You teach your heart that it can stay soft, even when the world feels hard. Now let us make this practical. When you wake up, check the forecast inside you. Ask, what do I need to shift? Not what needs to shift outside. Before every big moment, meeting, event, call, set your atmosphere. Say the reminder out loud. I carry my own weather. My attitude is my atmosphere. Let that become your anchor, your reset button, your mantra. You are not passive. You are not powerless. You are not a thermometer. You are the weather maker. And that makes you dangerous. Because now your joy is not random. Your clarity is not luck. Your peace is not fragile. It is yours. Built, owned, protected. So the next time the world throws a storm at you, you will not get swept up. You will be the one who stands, the one who breathes, the one who creates stillness in chaos. Say it again. I carry my own weather. My attitude is my atmosphere. And let every day reflect that truth. Let every room feel that power. Let every obstacle meet that mindset. Because when the world is unpredictable, you are not. You are constant. You are clear. You are calm. That is the Stoic way. That is your way. Reminder number 8. I am not my past. I am my present intention. The past happened. It left marks. It left lessons. But it does not define you. What defines you is what you choose to do right now. This is one of the hardest truths to believe, because we carry the weight of what we used to be. The stories we told ourselves, the mistakes we made, the people we let down, the times we let ourselves down. But the Stoics teach us this. Your identity is not frozen in history. It is forged in decision. Daily, moment by moment, Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it matters." The past happened, yes, but you are not the event. You are the response, and that response happens now. That is why we return to this reminder. I am not my past. I am my present intention. Your identity is not a verdict. It is a practice. Let us unpack that. Maybe you failed before. Maybe you broke a promise. Maybe you quit on something important. That matters, but it is not the whole story. What matters more is what you choose today. You can let your past become a prison, or you can let it become preparation. You can use it to judge yourself, or use it to fuel your growth. Right now, you are not who you used to be. Even from yesterday, you are a work in motion. You are someone who gets to decide how to show up. So the Stoics would say, show up with intention. Let's go deeper. Seneca wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." That means you do not have to be who you were. You get to reset, but only if you're willing to stop dragging the past into the present. You are not your mistakes. You are your recovery. You are not your regrets. You are your courage. You are not your losses. You are your learning. That mindset gives you back your power. You stop trying to rewrite the past, and you start writing the present. This is the real meaning of personal responsibility. Not punishing yourself for the past, but showing up fully to the present. So how do you do that? You anchor in intention. You wake up and ask, what kind of person do I want to be today? Not what do I need to fix? Not what do people expect from me? But what am I committed to bringing into this moment? Maybe today you choose presence. Maybe today you choose patience. Maybe today you choose courage. And that choice becomes your identity. Let's make it practical. Start your day with this practice. Sit still, breathe deep. Ask yourself, what is my present intention? Then say it out loud. I bring calm. I bring discipline. I bring clarity. Say it with your chest. Let your nervous system hear it. Let your energy align with it. This is how you live free from the past. Not by pretending it didn't happen, but by deciding that it doesn't own you. You can forgive yourself, not to let yourself off the hook, but to release the emotional weight that keeps you from moving forward. You can take ownership of your life without shame, because it is not your worst day. You are who you are becoming, and that becomes real when you act on it. Here's what that looks like in real life. You used to be reactive. Now you breathe before you speak. You used to give up. Now you finish what you start. You used to doubt yourself. Now you move anyway, not because it's easy, but because it's who you're choosing to be. Over time, your habits shift, your beliefs shift, your confidence shifts, and slowly that intention becomes identity. Not because it's fake, but because you've lived it into being. Let's address the lie that tries to hold you back. The lie says, you've always been this way. You'll never change. This is just who you are. No, you are not stuck. You are not static. You are not sentenced to your past. Neuroscience shows us that the brain rewires through repetition, through action, through intention. Stoics knew this before science did. You become who you practice being. So practice like it matters. Practice showing up with love. Practice choosing what's hard and right over what's easy and empty. Practice living aligned with the person you say you are. Even when it's uncomfortable, especially then, that's where transformation happens. And here's the deeper reward. When you start living by present intention, you start feeling proud of yourself. Not proud because you're perfect, proud because you're honest, proud because you're growing, proud because you're not hiding anymore. That kind of pride builds real self-worth, the kind that no one can give you and no one can take it away. Say the reminder again, I am not my past, I am my present intention. Say it when you feel shame creeping in. Say it when your confidence feels shaky. Say it when you're tempted to shrink. Let that line remind you, this moment is yours. This choice is yours. This identity is yours to build. Your past shaped you, but your present intention defines you. Choose wisely, live fully, be free. Reminder number 9. Discomfort is my compass. I run toward what strengthens me. The world teaches us to seek comfort, to avoid pain, to choose the path of least resistance. But growth doesn't live there. Strength doesn't live there. Everything you are looking for is just past your comfort zone. This is where Stoic wisdom cuts through the noise. The Stoics didn't chase ease. They trained for adversity. They leaned into the challenge because they understood the truth. Your strength is hiding behind the thing you are avoiding. This is why we repeat this reminder. Discomfort is my compass. I run toward what strengthens me. Epictetus said, difficulties are things that show a person who they are. You don't find your courage by staying comfortable. You don't find your focus by doing what's easy. You don't find your mission by waiting for clarity. You step into discomfort, and that discomfort reveals your edge. Then expand it. Let's get practical. Discomfort is your signpost. Do you feel resistance to a conversation? That's the one that needs to happen. Do you feel fear before a big move? That's the direction your growth lives in. Do you feel uneasy stepping into a new identity? That's the transformation calling you. Most people take discomfort as a signal to stop. You take it as a signal to lean in. When you make your compass, you stop wasting time. You stop dancing around your potential. You stop playing small. Let's be clear, this doesn't mean chasing pain for the sake of pain. It means understanding that pain is part of the path, not the enemy, but the initiator. When your muscles ache in training, that's not failure, that's growth in progress. Your character works the same way. This mindset flips your experience. The tough project, it becomes your proving ground. The rejection, it becomes a redirect. The fear, it becomes fuel. And that gives you power, because now you don't have to wait until life is comfortable to move forward. You move anyway. The Stoics practiced this intentionally. Seneca slept on the floor, wore simple clothes, ate little, not because he had to, but because he wanted to prove to himself that he could, that he wasn't ruled by comfort. What are you ruled by? Comfort or commitment? Fear or the future? Excuses or execution? Every time you step into discomfort on purpose, you grow your inner strength. You prove to yourself that you can handle more, that you can do hard things, that you can show up no matter the weather. This is what separates warriors from wanderers. Now let's bring this into your life. Make it a practice. Every day ask yourself, where am I avoiding discomfort today? Then go there. Maybe it's that message you haven't sent. Maybe it's the workout you've skipped. Maybe it's the boundary you're afraid to set. Maybe it's the truth you haven't spoken. Whatever it is, go into it. Not recklessly, not carelessly, but consciously. This is what builds anti-fragility. Not just the ability to survive stress, but to grow from it. When you treat discomfort as your compass, the world opens up. The opportunities that scare you become doors you can walk through. The moments that used to break you become lessons that build you. The pressure that overwhelmed you becomes your new baseline. And over time, you become unrecognizable. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Say the reminder again. Discomfort is my compass. I run toward what strengthens me. Let that become your rule of life. Let that become your code. Let that become your strategy. You will face fear, step in. You will feel resistance. Keep going. You will meet challenges. Rise, because every hard thing you conquer becomes part of you. Every uncomfortable thing you finish becomes your new normal. This is how you expand. This is how you earn confidence. This is how you live like a Stoic in a world chasing ease. So the next time discomfort shows up, don't run, recognize it. Welcome, use it, let it point the way. Then follow. You are not built for comfort. You are built for growth. And growth lies just outside what feels safe. Say it again. Discomfort is my compass. I run toward what strengthens me. Now move. Toward the fire, toward the challenge, toward the version of you waiting on the other side. Reminder number 10. I choose who I become, even when life feels out of control. There are days when life feels too big, too fast, too loud. You wake up and the world is already spinning. Notifications, noise, pressure, expectations. And somewhere in the middle of all that chaos, you wonder, do I even have a choice? The Stoics would say yes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is your reminder. I choose who I become. Even when life feels out of control, the world can move, people can shift, plans can fall apart, but you, your response, your values, your direction, are yours to shape. That is the heart of this practice. Ownership and identity. You do not become a strong person by accident. You choose it. You do not become calm under pressure by luck. You train it. You do not become your best self because everything goes right. You become that person because you decide to, especially when things go wrong. Let's break that down. Your external world is always going to be unpredictable. Plans change. People are disappointed. Life throws curveballs. But your internal world, that is where your control lives. You get to choose your direction. Even when the road is uncertain, you get to choose your mindset. Even when the news is bad, you get to choose your next move. Even when the outcome is unclear, that choice, that's your anchor. When you feel overwhelmed, come back to this truth. Who you become is a decision, not a reaction, not an accident. A decision. Here's how this plays out in real life. You get passed over for an opportunity. You feel rejected, frustrated. The old version of you would spiral, blame, doubt, retreat. But you remember the reminder, I choose who I become. So you choose to stay focused. You choose to use it as fuel. You choose to trust your direction. Even when it's hard, that's ownership. Or maybe life hits you with something bigger, a loss, a diagnosis, a major change. The ground shifts, and you feel like you've lost control. At that moment, the Stoic doesn't pretend it's easy, but they do remind themselves they still get to decide who they are in the storm. That's the ultimate power, because when you choose your response, you choose your future. Every day is sculpting you. Every moment is a brushstroke. Every response is shaping your character. So what kind of person are you choosing to become? Resilient, grateful, disciplined, grounded? This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. The world will always offer you reasons to break down. Your job is to become the kind of person who builds strength from the mess. And here's the beautiful part. When you start choosing who you want to become, life doesn't feel as overwhelming because you realize it's not all happening to you. It's happening through you. You're not a victim of your day. You're the author of it. Even when it feels like the script is out of your hands, you still control the pen. Let's go deeper. Choosing who you become doesn't mean you never feel fear, or sadness, or doubt. It means you don't let those feelings drive. You feel them, you face them. Then you choose anyway. That is courage. That is maturity. That is leadership. And you don't have to wait to start. You can choose today, choose to show up with strength, choose to speak with kindness, choose to act with discipline, choose to live with clarity. Say the reminder again. I choose who I become, even when life feels out of control. Now lock it in. Use it when your plans fall apart. Use it when your confidence feels low. Use it when your environment is chaotic. And over time, that choice becomes your character. Now let's close with this. You've walked through 10 powerful reminders, 10 Stoic truths, 10 tools to rebuild your mornings, to reclaim your focus, to realign your life. This journey wasn't just about information, it was about transformation. Because the Stoics didn't live for theory, they lived for practice. So now practice. Choose just one reminder to live today. Maybe it's peace, maybe it's discipline, maybe it's strength. Whatever it is, make it real. Breathe it, walk it, embody it. You've got everything you need. The only thing left is action. And here's your final challenge. If this message moved you, share it. Leave a comment with the reminder that hit you the hardest. Subscribe to join this growing tribe of warriors committed to inner strength. This world needs more people who lead themselves, who is calm, who walk with power, who choose to be intentional in a reactive world. Be that person. Don't wait, don't wish, choose. And remember, you are not your circumstances, you are your decision. You are not the chaos, you are the clarity. You are not waiting to become someone, you already are. Now go live like it. Say it one last time. I choose who I become, even when life feels out of control.